Paid for by Save Juneau, P.O. Box 32142 Juneau, Alaska 99803 Molly Duval Chair. Top contributors Wayne Coogan, James Wilcox and Robert Jacobson.
Hello everyone, this is Alex Sargent and Did You Know Juneau? Today we have David Morris in the house with us, and we're going to ask you a little bit about yourself and what qualifies you to represent us on the Assembly.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My name is David Morris. I'm a 43-year resident. I was in the Coast Guard for 4 years. I worked in the Clover and the Woodrush, and I was the rescue swimmer on the ships. After that, I went to the Alaska Marine Highway, which I worked many of the jobs. I worked as a purser and a deck person and a junior engineer most of the time. I teach swimming at DIPAC. I worked with GSC. I teach 5th grade Learn to Swim. And I worked for Alaska Plumbing and Heating with Sonny because he couldn't find anybody, and he has a lot of work. So now he's got 2 really good guys, and so I can back off of that a little bit. And I've been here 43 years, so it's my turn to give back to the community. I know a lot about what has happened here. When I was in the ferry system, I was vice chairman of the Inland Boatmen's Union and a delegate for 8 years. So I have some negotiating experience with the state of Alaska. And I've also gone to the John Maxwell Leadership School and I'm about to go again in March. I've set up to go again in March. And it's a wonderful school. It taught me a lot about myself and, how to work with people. And that's what it's about, is working with people, not against people. So that's kind of where I'm at.
We all love living in Juneau, but it's expensive. Save Juneau is very concerned about cost of living. What is one idea that Assembly could implement to lower Juneau's cost of living?
I think we could lower Juneau's cost of living by opening up the housing market, opening up property. Because the more houses you have, you can lower the mill rate, lower the taxes, because there's more of it. Plus, that would cure several other problems, like our police station. It's hard to get police people here because they don't have a house to stay in. They don't want to stay in a little condo with 4 kids. They want a house, and they're just not available at, and then with the prices that they set, what they just set, they're way too high. The houses here, their assessments are way too high for this area.
Perfect. So at the state and city level, as well as the private sector, there are tons of vacant open positions in Juneau's workforce. Why can't Juneau attract more people to live and work here?
I'm going to go back to housing again. Cost of housing and the availability of housing stops people from coming here. Because they're like, oh yeah, I can come and take that job, but my rent's going to be $2,500 for a little box. That doesn't work. The housing market always shifts, because the low end people will move into the middle end people. The middle end people will move into the high end people. So you don't have to just build low end housing. You need to build all housing to spread it out.
Yeah, excellent. So I'm going to roll into talking about being an assembly member and how you view that. How do you see the roles of the assembly member and the city manager, which is hired by the assembly?
The assembly members try to do, or are supposed to do, what's best for the citizens, what the citizens want, not what they want. They're here to listen to the citizens and do what they want. And the city manager, which was just hired, I haven't met them yet, but I would love to, the new one. And the city manager is supposed to manage the city in a way that is good for the economy, good for bringing businesses and people into the city, and listen to the people. I mean, the people have a lot to say about it, but if you don't listen to them, they're just going to get angry, and you're not going to have a lot of support.
So talking about listening to the people, how would your decisions be affected by public opinion, testimony versus email, versus the using your knowledge and judgment you've gained on issues?
Knowledge, my judgment, this is how I answer questions and make decisions. You can't make it based on one road. You have to listen to this side, couple three on this side, couple three on this side. You have to listen to both of them. And I do make good decisions based once I have all the facts. But you got to gather all the facts before you can make a really good decision. You can't just listen to one side, you got to listen to everyone.
All right. So we're going to go to the ballot measure that's we'll be voting on. Do you support public servants promoting the city hall with public money? Two-part here.
Okay.
Do you have an alternative option to solve the ill-managed public building we have today?
Okay, the first one, no, I don't believe it. They should be using money to promote something that the people have already voted down. And the second thing is the reason why the building is in the shape that it's because of deferred maintenance. And deferred means, push it off or, don't do it and spend the money somewhere else. But then when it becomes a real big problem, they're like, oh, we have to do this. I mean, whether they did it on purpose to make the building fail so they could get their new building, don't know. But, deferred maintenance is not good for any building. If we give them a new building, are they going to take care of that one, or is it just going to go like the old one? I know the old one's 90 years old, and there is, problems with that, just inherent. But you can mitigate that by taking care of what you own.
Perfect. We're going to roll into property taxes now. Okay? So some 400 homeowners appealed their property assessments this year. Talk to us about property taxes and how you see property taxes.
Property taxes, I still need to do some more research on it, but it looks like they just want a blanket thing. Like if you own a 4-bedroom house, your property taxes are such and such. And that's not the way the assessment should work. I mean, if I live over here in a 3-bedroom house and, in the valley and in the woods, it's not going to be as expensive or worth as much as somebody living on, say, the ocean side, Fritz Cove or something like that. You can't assess all the houses just because of what their makeup and their rooms all the same. They're all in different areas. They're all different prices. So you need to assess the values of them along those lines. And I think you need to bring a company in that's an Alaskan company that understands to do assessments, and not somebody from down south that doesn't understand any of this.
Awesome. All right. One of our last questions here. If you could make a promise to the voters that you would swear not to break, what would that be?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's giving me that response, by the way.
I think what I would say to the people is I work diligently on fair taxation for the people and fair representation of the people.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do you have any final statements before we close out here?
Any final statements? I would just like to address the police force. And I went and talked to some of the policemen, and we're down 12 people. Their chief and their deputy are about ready to roll out. And the reason they can't get anybody, from what they understand and from what I understand, is because of housing. Housing is a very big issue for just about anything we want to do here. And we need to open the gates and let the contractors, local contractors, build the places that they've been trying to do. There's a pinch point in the process that every one of them says it gets stuck right here, and that's where it stays. Mm-hmm. And we need to fix that so we can open up the stuff for the people and make us a viable community where people want to come and and live and prosper.
Awesome. All right. Well, your ballot will be hitting your mailbox around the 15th, 16th, because they're mailed out on the 14th. So make sure to vote. Don't throw it in the trash. Make sure to vote. If you are uncomfortable putting your ballot in the mail, make sure to find the in-person locations located in your district. They are out there. And also I've heard certifying your ballot is also another great way to protect your vote. Juneau, it's your job to vote, so do so. Thanks so much.